Well, you're here on a good day today. It's an expanded version of KCIM Sports Rewind. You are going to get an extra 10 seconds of Sports Rewind today. How about that?
Is that because you're giving us 10 more years?
No, that would just be an additional 10 seconds.
Okay.
Let's not exaggerate too much. Got a full crowd on hand here. Sports Director Jeff Blankman, Assistant Sports Director Mason Nealon, and Casey Miners, who is going to be taking over KCIM here pretty soon. So you'll be on Rewind next week, right?
Next week, yeah. Starting next week.
Yeah. So
like having an old crew back in.
Yeah, his return to Rewind.
We're going old school here.
Yeah.
So we're bringing back Hawkap, man, and Honnold, and everybody else.
I'd be all right with those two. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it. What 20-year run or something close to that. We tried to figure it out, and I bet if you figured out like 50, we probably skipped a couple of days.
Right.
A couple of programs about every year, right around Christmas time, things like that. I wonder how many somebody do the math on that. 18 years times about 50.
Okay.
I joked with Nathan Cones this morning. That's why I'm in radio. I can't do math. So
900.
900. We didn't even get to 1,000.
Yeah, we're probably. I'm guessing that we might be closer to 19 years. And stuff. And
we're getting a little closer there.
Just under. Can you hang on long enough to get us to 1,000?
Not going to happen. Nope. Sorry.
I'm going to keep trying, guys. It's his last week.
So we got lots to talk about this week. I know, Jeff, you want to talk a little bit about some of the memories. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. We can do that a little bit later on in the show, but we'll close out maybe with some of that. So. All
right. Sounds good. We'll start with Iowa State. Have you guys ever seen a crazier weekend than what Iowa State just went through?
No. No.
Anything comparable?
No. I've never seen a coach get hired before the other school even puts out that they've officially hired what would be the old coach. Penn State hadn't officially announced that it was a done deal, that they had hired Matt Campbell, and Iowa State had already hired his replacement. Now, 47 minutes after Campbell had begun his meeting with his former players now at Iowa State.
Yeah, I was on the Kemper broadcast with that one, and we announced, saying thank you for Campbell and great job at Iowa State. And not even before the boys' game was over, after I said that in the girls' game, we were like, yeah, they already hired Jimmy Rogers from Washington State. They didn't waste any time. I think, 47 minutes to be exact for how long that took, and you just don't see that anywhere.
The question I have on it is from the Iowa State people that I've talked to, that Campbell was still in his meeting with the Iowa State players when the announcement was made that they hired Rogers. I almost question whether they should have held it just long enough to allow him to finish the meeting, because you got to wonder the impact that had on the young guys and stuff in that program. That hey, we're trying to say goodbye to our current guy, the guy that recruited us, the guy that brought us here, the guy that's been, through the battles and stuff with us, and now all of a sudden we have to be excited because we know who our next guy is, type of a thing.
I think it was Rich Eisen or somebody like that who said that it took Penn State 54 days to find a new coach.
Right.
It took Iowa State 54 seconds.
Well,
so I do question that, Casey. I mean, that was a little, if of anything, I love Jamie Pollard acting fast, but maybe, hold on to it for a day.
Well, I don't think you'll ever really figure out what happened quite
right
with everything, how it went down.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Campbell kind of told him a little bit of what was going to happen, and I wonder if they Campbell's like, here's a guy to go and get me to replace, because he really liked Jimmy Rogers.
Actually, it was more T.J. Otzelberger.
Was it?
Yeah, Jamie said he talked to T.J. Otzelberger, and in fact, I've got a cut here from Jamie Pollard we're going to play here in a second, but he said that it was T.J. who knew him and said he's Matt Campbell 2.0. So that's kind of what, and Jamie Pollard had met him years ago too, and really had him on his list the whole time. So, I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm not surprised with Pollard. I think he's one of the elite athletic directors in the entire nation. You look at what Iowa State has become with facilities and the upgrades and the amount of money that they generate and everything, and the coaches that he's hired since he's come in there. I mean, God, when we were kids, you and I, John, these guys weren't born yet, but, Iowa State was a basketball school with, Johnny
Yeah.
Orr and then Tim Floyd and Larry Eustace and that crew
Pink
that came
Floyd.
through and stuff. But they were never a football program. The women's basketball program came on after they hired Finley, and stuff. The wrestling program was great and then down, but he just doesn't seem to have, not that he hasn't made a bad hire or two, he just hasn't seemed to make many bad hires, and now a lot of their sports are better.
So here's Jamie Pollard on new coach Jimmy Rogers.
If you want I'll tell you what TJ Otzelberger said to me.
Perfect.
He's Matt Campbell 2.0. He said he's not going to mix a lot of words. He's not going to smile a lot. He's going to be disciplined in everything he does all day long. And I said, so you really mean he's TJ Otzelberger 2.0? And he laughed and he said, well, you can say that, I can't say that.
Yeah. So he's got TJ Otzelberger's seal of approval and all that. And during his opening press conference, he did say he has a pretty severe case of RBF. So he goes, if I'm not smiling, it doesn't mean I'm not happy.
You wonder for Rodgers, and you guys can comment on this, do you like being compared right away before you even step on campus as the head coach officially, being compared to the guy that just left? Do you like that or not?
I wouldn't. That's not me. I wouldn't.
Yeah. I'd want to come in kind of with my own identity, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you almost had to think that because Campbell's been the guy that's really brought him back to success, so there was no kind of getting under the radar into Iowa State without being compared to him right away.
Yeah, would it have made a difference if they held on to the naming the new coach until today?
Yeah, and I don't think they need it. I was talking to a buddy of mine that played for the Cyclones in the 90s, still lives over there, still connected, and I just told him, because he was like, yeah, I don't know how I would have liked it. And I'm like, I guess for me, I would have just thought, wait till an hour after Campbell's meeting with the player is over, even 10 minutes after the meeting with the players is over. And maybe for some of the players it didn't make a difference and didn't matter that they made the announcement. I just thought it was kind of a strange deal. But, they had their guy and they wanted to get it done.
Yeah,
so.
it did come across a little insensitive.
Right.
I will admit that one. But both Pollard and Matt Campbell kind of got very emotional talking about each other.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like they had a bad relationship at all.
Right.
So, it's new times. Couple things. How does Matt Campbell do at Penn State? What do you guys think?
He's got better
Predictions.
resources.
Yeah, I think
He's
he'll
going
win.
from $13 million NIL at Iowa State to $31 million at Penn State.
I think he'll be successful there. The only thing that I concern myself for him, can he win enough? And that's because the guy he's replacing won an awful lot, and it wasn't enough. So what are they expecting, and what did they want? If they want national championships and Final Four appearances and getting into the title game maybe and losing and Big Ten championships, can he give them enough that? I think he's a heck of a football coach, but you're walking into a place that's much different with the expectations than the place that you're leaving.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job turning around Iowa State. Who's to say you can't do it at Penn State with more resources? But at the same time, Iowa State fans expect a lot less than what the Penn State fans are going to expect, because Iowa
Very
State,
true.
They expect, let's get us to our bowl game, let's have some fun moments during the season. You just be a great dude and be a great coach. But Penn State, it's like, your head's going to be on the chopping block if you don't take us to a national title. Because, I mean, you look at James Franklin and what he did there. He took them pretty far for a couple of years there, and you couldn't get that national title, and they instantly said, you know what, you're not the guy for us.
I think give him 2-3 years. I think he's going to have Penn State up at the top, towards the top of the Big Ten, competing
Right. Yep.
with the Ohio States and the Michigans.
Which is technically...
And maybe the Indianas.
Right, yeah. Indiana might be the program to watch out for, which is actually, what James Franklin has done. I mean, they hadn't won a conference, but they were in that hunt every single year. So, yeah, I think Matt Campbell's an elite coach. I laugh. I was listening to a Nebraska podcast the other day, and they're like, I'm going to be so mad if Penn State botched this thing so bad, and then they fall into a great coach like Matt Campbell. He's like, they fell into one of the better coaches in the country and handled this whole thing so poorly.
Yeah,
he's like their fifth choice.
Anyone keeping score at home, that's the first Nebraska reference we had for Jeff Blankman on today's show. So I'm sure it won't be the last.
I'll try.
Scale of 1 to 10, Jimmy Rogers, how tough is his job?
I don't
Tough.
know. I look at it this way: 3 years as a head coach, two at SDSU, and then one at
Washington State.
I I mean, his first year,
27-3 in those first 2 years. I mean, he did inherit a great team,
Yeah.
but he took a nowhere team and made him a 500 team in Washington State.
the Iowa fan in me says his success came from Iowa's quarterback, but that's a different story.
Gronowski, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he does good. I mean, he's a proven winner. He was at USD even before he got or SDSU before he even got the head coaching job. So
He said he was from Arizona and he didn't know where Brookings was. Never got a high school or never got a college scholarship offer.
Right.
Went there and his dad said, "Well, how was it?" And he goes, "Well, their facilities are worse than our high school, but I'm coming here.
Right.
I'm coming here to do this." And Stiegelmeier, John Stiegelmeier, the coach, had been there for decades,
Right.
with like 30 some odd years. So he learned a lot, and he stuck with that program. And man, he made the most out of it.
Yeah, I just think as the lack of resources, even though Iowa State's in better shape than they were 30, 40 years ago, even the guys that I talked to that have played over there years ago that still have contact with it, they don't get a lot of NIL. So how does he get 2 3-star guys and build them like Campbell did? If he can do that, he's going to be successful. But unless something changes over there, the resources that he's going to have aren't going to be comparable even to a lot of the top teams in his own conference, let alone to the teams in the SEC and the Big 12. So I'm not saying, or Big 10, excuse me, I'm not saying he can't be and won't be successful. I just think it's a tough job.
Yeah, it is, and see how much grace the Iowa State fans give him, because you're going to see a lot of kids go.
Right.
A lot of kids, I think, are going to hit the transfer portal. Whether they come back or not, it will remains to be seen. Second thing I want to talk about, bowl bids. Iowa State said no, we don't want to play. They claim injury, and they don't have enough players to really get ready for a bowl game. Kansas State backed out, Baylor backed out, but Notre Dame backing out of their bowl game it does not set well with me.
No, whine and cry and complain and then act like a baby. That to me is exactly what they did. I didn't get what I want, so I'm going to pack up my stuff and go home.
And I don't know if it was a student vote or whether it was the administration saying no.
Well, I that same podcast that I won't mention that I was listening to.
Was that Nebraska?
Yes.
All right.
They kind of said it this way last night. If you really think, even though it was announced that it was a player vote, if you really think that the administration at Notre Dame let the players decide whether or not they were going to take the money from going to a bowl game that they get to keep all by themselves because they don't have to share with the ACC because they're not fully affiliated with them. They turned down money. They weren't going to let the players decide if that money was not going to be put into their coffers or not. That was an administrative decision that was told to the players, we're going to say you guys voted, but here's how we say you guys voted.
Yeah, I mean, it rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, if you get into the college football playoff, here's how I see it. Would they have declined it if they were in the playoff? No way. They're going to go and they're going to play in the playoff. But the second that you drop under Miami and you become that kind of fringe team that will play in a bowl game that's to them meaningless, I mean, then they're just like, yeah, we don't care enough. Let's get ready for next season. And that's what rubs me the wrong way. If you were in, you would have played. But if you're out, you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to give another team a chance to be able to play another game because once you fall out, then the team that you could have played is now like, well, we have to go find another opponent as well. And then it kind of leaves that kind of scramble to be able to find somebody to play them.
You're getting some 5 and 7 teams into bowls this year.
Did you see the new rule though for Notre Dame?
No.
So if they are in the last ranking of the college football playoffs before the selection show, if they are ranked within the top 12, they are automatically in because they are not in a conference.
And I think that is a crock. Quit babying that program
because
force them to get into a conference.
Yeah, they can play outside the rules.
Yes.
Outside the rules of everybody. We've got to move on because we're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff we want to talk about too. Indiana, what are the odds of them winning the national championship after they took down Ohio State? I didn't think they could do it, but they did it, and they're undefeated right now.
With him and that coaching staff, I wouldn't put anything past him. You took one of the worst, if not the worst program right now in college football, and in 2 years made him good enough to win a national championship. I don't put anything past him and his staff.
He's got the safest job in the country right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. I told Jeff yesterday, I'm like, I think everyone from 8 on up has a chance. I think Oklahoma's a little bit pushing it just because I think their offense is a little weary. But, I mean, I think for sure 7 on up has a chance to win the college football playoff here. I feel bad for James Madison, and I feel bad for Tulane. They're walking into some bad ones, but Tulane's probably got a better chance there.
Yeah. All
They're
right.
making money.
Should we make early predictions? You're not going to be held to these, but as you look at it right now, your pick to win it all.
Yeah, because I got to send out the bold challenge. Do you want in for one last year?
We'll see.
Okay. All right. I won't put him on the spot too much. But, but I
could walk away with that toilet trophy and keep it forever.
Yeah. Ohio State's offense still worries me a little bit. And I don't know.
Okay, well.
I'm going to say Ohio State. I'm going to go Georgia. I'm going to go Georgia.
Do you want some more time to think about that?
I do. That's why I haven't filled out my bracket challenge yet.
All right, we're all waiting on Blankman to give us his
Georgia.
Pick. All right.
Give me Indiana. I mean, I just want to see a Big Ten. I want to see a Big Ten team that Iowa had a chance to beat go win the national championship.
Give Mason Indiana. Casey?
I like Georgia. I think they're the most complete team right now.
I'm with you, Mason. I love Indiana. I love the way they play. I would love to see Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, all those teams go back home with their tail between their legs and saying, we got beat by Indiana.
I'd be okay with it. I certainly wouldn't complain.
Let anarchy reign, in other words.
The only thing that's hard growing up as long as we have, how is Indiana? And kudos to them, but how is Indiana maybe the best team in all of college football?
It's come full circle the year that Lee Corso leaves game day.
Yes.
Indiana's good again.
And he couldn't win a game when he was at Indiana.
So let's shift gears. We'll talk a little college basketball here. Check this out.
And Iowa State goes on the road to the #1 team in the nation and dominates play, beating Purdue 81-58. Just the 5th all-time win over a #1 ranked team for Iowa State basketball. 3 of them under the direction of TJ Otzelberger, and this is the first time they've ever done it on the road. Wow.
The wow part was they crushed Purdue in the second half. That was, Mason, just a butt kicking.
Yeah, first off, shout out to Sean Burks down at the Audubon Wrestling Tournament putting on the projector so we could all sit in that little conference room and watch it together.
All right, Sean Burks, you get a round of applause.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that was the game right there that proved that Iowa State is really a contender this year, because there's been years where you're like, let's wait a little bit and see, but this is the one where you go out there and you're like, they're seriously a team to be reckoning with when it comes to March.
I thought that the win over Purdue was fantastic for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time that they went in and beat a #1 team on the road and handled them like that. I think what they said that was the worst loss that Purdue has had at Mackey Arena ever.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked they won. I was shocked at how they did it, especially in that second half, because Iowa State just demoralized that crowd, that team, everything. They Purdue left with Iowa State walking out the door going, what just happened?
I questioned how Iowa State didn't jump. I know it's a long jump, but you go into what you listen to the experts going into last week, and they were like, Purdue's clearly the best team in the country. They're head and shoulders above everybody else. And then Iowa State goes into their facility and dominates them. How does Iowa State not become the #1 team? How do they not get enough first-place votes to jump 10 spots?
Arizona's beat 3 top 10 teams already this year.
I know. But if Purdue was clearly the best team in the country and Iowa State goes onto their home floor and dominates them, how do you not jump them all the way up there?
And,
I get it.
And Michigan crushing people at the Players Era tournament and things like that. So they're #4 in the country right now. I forgot to mention during the Bowls, I love Iowa's matchup with Vandy. If everybody plays, that's a great bowl game for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Diego Pavia is going to learn who Kirk Ferentz is real quick. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
come on! What'd you tell me last night? You got to tell me what you told me last night.
I don't know. I look at it this way: Iowa and Vanderbilt, and it's a good SEC team and a good Big Ten team, but I feel like in the middle of the pack, the SEC really would control kind of some of those middle of the pack Big Ten teams. So I don't like Iowa's chances, but as an Iowa fan, you got to go into it confident. This is one of our better offenses we've had in years, just from the quarterback standpoint.
You don't want to tell everybody else what you told me the prediction was last night?
No, I'll wait on that one.
Casey?
If Pavia plays, I think Notre Dame. I think Vanderbilt's got a really good shot in the game, but probably going to be one of the better defenses they've seen all season long.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's whole offense has been Diego Pavia all season long. If Iowa can stop him, they've got a really good chance.
So again, I'm going to ask you guys. Heard some people talking here recently and it was during the game that after Thanksgiving that we don't need to talk about, but they were saying that no matter what the record was for Iowa this year, if you just look at the way they played on the field, was this the best team Kirk's had in the last 11 years?
I still went back to that Rose Bowl team that lost to McCaffrey. I said that was probably the best team that you're going to have.
But also that year they didn't play anybody really good until Michigan State
and Stanford. So
yeah, but I mean, you look at some of the talent that Kirk's had over the years and the teams that he's had together. Those are just, it's hard to put this team ahead of that just because of how they played. But I think this is a really good ball club that just, you lost a couple of close games, which knocks it down.
I'll say this: he's had better defenses,
right?
But the offense has been better. The offense is better than what it has been, but the defense, I would say, if you look at some of the other teams in his past, the defense has been head and shoulders above what it is this year.
I don't disagree, but as a whole, that's why you got to judge it as a whole, is what they were wondering. Is this the best team? Because their offense was so much better than what it had been in the past.
I think it's one of the best bowl matchups out there, this side of maybe Texas, Michigan, which your Longhorns, man, Arch came a long way.
Especially the second half of the season. Don't even get me started. I think they deserve to be in the playoff, but I won't talk about that because a lot of people don't think. But,
so Alabama don't deserve in. That's all I'll say. I don't
they played
know
in the
who
conference
else.
championship.
Yeah, but I don't think they deserved in because BYU played in the conference championship and got handled, and Alabama's been playing bad. Now, that ain't saying Alabama can't beat Oklahoma and make a run, but they have been playing good for the last month. And you go out and you get pounded, and that final score didn't even indicate how much Georgia dominated them. I don't think Alabama deserved in.
If Notre Dame would have gotten in and Texas was left out, it would have probably been upset just because they went 3-2 against top 10 teams this year.
Right. Yeah.
So.
College basketball happening this week. Iowa at Iowa State. Two really good games. Women's game on Wednesday night. Quick picks.
Women's game will be the best game. The Iowa State men are going to blow Iowa out. That's what I think.
I think Iowa State wins both.
I think they do.
I think they win both as well.
Do you?
I said it this way. I think if Iowa's got to go in a mindset between Stolke, Hayden, and Hayes, throw them at Crooks, don't care about foul trouble, just play physical with her.
Right.
You got 15 fouls. Use them.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be bothered by the physical play.
I don't think she will either.
Right, but you got 15 fouls.
You take away, you cut her in half, 27 points per game. I think Iowa would take that.
Yeah.
It's funny, years ago that when Caitlin Clark was all the rage in college basketball, everybody said, well, don't sleep on Audie Crooks.
Right.
A couple of years later, she's one of the dominant players in college basketball, and she was even then when Caitlin Clark was in.
Yep.
Couple of years ago, Iowa State-Texas game, I'm walking into the stadium for football, and I look to my right, and I go, who is this girl standing to me? Super tall girl, and I'm like, wow, she looks like she could play some good basketball. Turns out it's Audie Crooks in her freshman year, and I look and I'm like, there's no girl you can put out on the court that can completely stop her this season. I mean, had 40 points in this season in a game, and she's just that good around the rim that I feel like she's one of those girls you can't really stop at that point.
She's National Player of the Year this year. I think,
easily.
Crazy good there. So those games are coming up Wednesday night for the women, Thursday night for the men. To take a break, we'll be back more. KCIM Sports Rewind next.
As the athletes at your house prepare for hard work and fun of the season, remember that St. Anthony Rehab Services provides physical therapy for any sports injury that may sideline your member of the team. Sports injuries can plague kids of all ages and keep them from playing the sport they love. Athletes will be under the direct supervision of a certified and licensed healthcare professional in the newly renovated sports performance facility. If an injury is keeping your athlete out of the game, call St. Anthony Rehabilitation Services at 794-5000 for sports injury and treatment rehab.
It is KCIM Sports Rewind, Full House, Casey Miners. We've got Mason Nealand and Jeff Blankman, myself, John Ryan, and
Hey, John, I just got a text here as well from Mike Powers, the AD up at Kemper. Their home games tonight with Harlan. We must have some weather. I haven't looked. Mm-hmm. We must have some weather. Might be rolling into the area that's going to be varsity only tonight now. And they're going to start varsity girls at 4:30 with the boys to follow. So the first change coming into tonight's schedule.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, not a problem.
That there's like 60 mile per hour overnight winds, 50 miles per hour by tomorrow morning. So yeah, it's going to be kind of nasty, ugly here. So anyway, this is my last program on KCIM Sports Rewind. I've been doing this for 18, 19 years. We talked about that earlier. Yeah. So it's going to be crazy. Tuesday mornings at 9:30. I'm like, shouldn't I be doing something right about now? Or
you want us to call you?
No, that's fine.
Bring you in over the phone.
You can just text me and say, "Hey, by the way, it's Rewind morning," in case you want to. So
yeah. So I mean, what your thoughts? 19 years or so doing this. I mean, you're here in the studio, but It's been fun over the years, I'll tell you that.
I haven't covered games for a while.
Right.
I spent almost 20 years doing games.
Yep.
So it's crazy, but yeah, you never lost touch because of you.
Right.
You were always all the knowledge. I mean, all I had to do was ask you questions and go, here, go. So it's been a lot of fun, though. It's been great recognition and things, and folks do listen.
Right.
Which stuns me at times.
By the way, speaking of that, Jerry Spieler was not happy with me. He said he turned us off last week after I made the comment about it was, fun to see Iowa State beat Iowa in wrestling. He went click.
Well, you can't make everybody happy all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lesson for Casey and Mason. So tell the truth, man, and let the chips fall where they may. But no, I have loved doing sports over the years.
Right.
Doing games is the ultimate form of radio to me.
Right.
You got 3 hours to fill. You got a game in front of you. You've got to portray that. You got to give it a picture to the listeners. And it's been a ton of fun to do until, it just got to be a grind, work in the early mornings and things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, going to state tournament games, doing things like that. One of the very first play-by-play games that I got kind of forced into because somebody got sick. I wasn't planning on doing sports when I got here.
Right.
Was the Sac City Girls. Was in a sub-state game up in Storm Lake. Against, I didn't even remember the opponent, but the game went to double overtime.
Oh, wow.
I literally knew none of the girls' names as I barely had my rosters made out as I go up there. And double overtime game, Mike Fisher was the coach.
Right.
And I remember that game sticks out in my head. I was like, okay, you just kind of jumped into this, not really prepared to do it, but here you go.
Right.
And man, it was off to the races after that.
So you were here in the mid 90s and late 90s for the Carroll and the Kemper championships, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and for Adam Halaska and his run here, so that had to be fun.
It was. I did a couple of the championship songs for Carroll and for Kemper. A couple of years ago. That was back in the days before multi-track editing, where you could just place everything exactly perfect. So I had to record stuff on like these 8-track carts, and play the song and hit the buttons at the right time. I sat here in the studio until like 3 a.m. after Carroll won it the first time, and until I got the song right. I spent probably 3 hours listening to that song going, okay, when do I hit this button? When do I hit that? Oh, that wasn't quite right. I got to do it over again. But it worked out pretty cool in the end.
Yeah, that's tells you the dedication and stuff that you had for what you did.
Yeah, and before you got here, man, sports was... I mean, we did the home football game. That was it.
Right.
You did only baseball and softball you did was maybe in the playoffs, and that was probably only baseball.
Right.
Basketball was one of the home games on like a Friday night, and that was it.
Right.
Now, how many games do we do?
Not enough. No, I'm kidding.
Jeff has over the years asked us to add more stations so he can do more sports.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I've tried to talk Kim into buying a couple of places when they went up for sale, but I get it why she didn't.
Yeah, but what got you into sports play-by-play? You were always just a sports fanatic.
Yeah, I'm a sports nut. Grew up just caring about sports, and I wanted to be a coach, and then I decided, well, I don't want to be in school all day teaching, so I got to find out another way to be around the game, and sports radio and call-in games was kind of the route that I ended up taking. So,
how about you, Mason? What got you interested in sports and doing it here on the radio?
You can look to my left here, and my junior year of high school, I realized I wasn't going to the NBA, and so I was
really.
I was.
I mean, wow! You just didn't get your shot.
No, I blew out my knee my sophomore year, and I just couldn't go to the league. So, but Jeff contacted me, and I was kind of interested in doing it. And that year, I met the great Nick Brinks, and he was actually on the road down to Council Bluffs. So.
Wait. But we have a Nick Brinks reference.
Yeah.
Got to get all of our references in. But yeah, Jeff gave me the opportunity, and then I started with Tiger Vision, and then recently here, got the opportunity here, and we're all kind of back together. So we got the whole band together today, at least.
Yeah, Casey, what got you into it?
I was actually in college on my 4th different major.
That sounds about right for me too.
And I was like, I was really big into sports. It's kind of like Jeff. I always saw myself coaching baseball because I thought I was good at it. I wasn't really, but and then I was like, I don't want to be in school all day. That sucks. So I decided to get into sports, and I switched programs at Iowa Central to TV and radio, and I got thrown into soccer play-by-play within my first week of being there. And
did you know anything about soccer?
I did because I played it in high school, but I will never call soccer again.
So, Jeff, you have been told. So what do you enjoy the most when you're out calling games?
I don't know. I've grown to love volleyball, and Jeff does that to you. With the way he talks about it, and you sit there and like look at it. Like I've grown to really like calling volleyball and basketball.
It's pace. It's so fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was within this first year, I've experienced so many different things from state track to state volleyball, state football. I mean, you're around some of the best athletes in the state of Iowa, if not even the nation sometimes, and you're just watching great things unfold in front of you. So you just get the opportunity to be able to see things that, not many people get to actually go and experience at the level that we do.
So, John, for you, what's the future? I have people ask me all the time. So, what's the future?
I know that's the first thing they always ask me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to take some time off.
Right.
First of all, I mean, all this waking up early in the morning stuff and driving in, it gets to be such a drag after a while.
Right.
So it's going to be, it's going to be like a month or so of just decompression.
Right.
And then kind of figuring out. My wife and I want to go travel. She's got to wrap up her job and things like that. But yeah, we want to do some podcasting in the future.
Yep.
So she helped me out with my final podcast, A Must Know People. So that's out right now. But that's really about it for now.
Right.
I don't have any definite plans of doing anything. Just want to live life on my terms and on my schedule for a while. I want to go play golf.
Yeah.
I want to become the worst golfer out at the golf course, sometime over the summer.
Well, if I go with you, that won't happen because I will be worse than you. But
ride my bike and do something like that. Do it in the morning time when I've always been busy for 30 some odd years here.
Yeah. How long do you think it'll take you to not wake up at 4:30 in the morning?
Oh, day one. I am not one of those people that automatically get up. Okay. I will be awake in the middle of the night trying to solve the world's problems.
Right.
What happens if this guy happens at the station? What happens if Jeff Blankman's gone? Like, okay, just idiot. Stop thinking. Stop overthinking things.
Yeah.
And so that's my issue is like, when am I going to stop waking up in the middle of the night from 2 a.m. to about 3 a.m. or sometimes even more than that.
It'll be nice not to get those text alerts that there's something wrong, right?
Yeah, transmitter's off the air. You got to get up and remember the code, and whether it's pound or sign or whatever it is. So that probably went over everybody's head right there. But yeah, I mean it's going to be nice just to relax for a little while.
Yep.
So anyway, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, thank you for everything. I know we still have a few days left here, but thank you for everything in all these years.
Yeah, John, I know Jeff can't attest to this in case either, but I just want to thank you for an entire lifetime of Rewind. I mean, you've been doing it for the entire time.
A lifetime.
You've been the guy for now my entire life when it comes to Rewind, and I would sit in school and hear you guys talk about sports. So just wanted to say thank you for that.
You remember how this show started?
Yeah, we kind of talked about, and what'd we do? Just recap a few things?
It was sold to us as we said, well, hey, can we sell it to like towns? Recap the Friday night football games for each one. So we recorded a separate segment for each school.
Yep.
And after a couple of weeks, we're like, what are we doing here? This is taking forever. So we decided, let's just do a half an hour show on the weekdays, 9:30 on a Tuesday morning. And man, it's been here ever since.
It has.
So I'll be here long after I'm gone.
Yeah, long after I'm gone as well.
So good luck to you guys. I've appreciated it. Thank you.